and sisters, we rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone seek for Thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom Thou bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teachings. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness and none deserve to be served, worship, to praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the honor be Elijah Muhammad, that true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We'd like to acknowledge the brothers and sisters who sent us the greetings of Assalamu alaikum. We have Brother Mustafa and Sister Sharice Ali from Cleveland, Ohio. We have Sister Badia Muhammad from Hawaii. We have Brother Minister Salim Bey from Oakland, California. We have Sisters Ikea Karim. We have Brother Muta Kabir from Philly. And we have Brother Calvin Shabazz from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'd like to say, in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of His last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. We want to continue our talk on which one will survive the War of Armageddon. But today, we want to talk and start with the January 13th, 1967 Muhammad speech, which is, every nation has a turn. And we see it's a cartoon on the front cover. And we see in the cartoon, we see the white man paying off, once again, the Christian preacher. Because back in the time of the messenger, Muslims didn't cut the preacher no slack. I mean, he got it bad back when the messenger was alive. So you see a picture of the preacher, then it's a picture of NAACP, and then it's a picture of the Urban League. And the white man is paying them off, and he's pointing at the messenger saying, stop him. He's joining on to his own. So the cartoon in the Muhammad speech is clearly showing us the difference between Christianity and Islam. And we want to go and see how Muslims used to talk about Christianity, because the good thing about looking at the Muhammad Speaks newspaper is you could take the Muhammad Speaks newspaper back in the time of the messenger and compare it to today, and just look at the difference, because the differences is obvious. The differences jump out and hit you in the face when you look at the Muhammad Speaks newspaper and you compare what Muslims were saying during the time of the messenger and what Muslims are saying now. And this article comes from the August 23rd, 1974 Muhammad Speaks, and it says, Messenger's brother enlightens Baltimore crowd. Now this was the messenger's brother. And this is another thing that's good about the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Whenever the messenger's family was in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, it lets you know this is the blood brother of the messenger. This is the son of the messenger. This is the wife of the messenger. So all of this stuff with people talking about these were the wives of the messenger, it's like if they was in the Nation of Islam, why the Muhammad Speaks didn't represent them as the wives and the sons of the messenger? Because some of these people who say they was the wives of the messenger was in the Nation of Islam when the messenger was alive. And they was in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. So, but it didn't say the wife of the messenger. It just said whatever they name it. So that's what's good about the Muhammad Speaks too. All of the messenger's family was represented as his family. So this was the messenger's brother. And he said, it says, Minister John, who was with Messenger Muhammad at the beginning of his mission, blasted Christianity as an institution of idolatry and mockery. He condemned the teachings of a mystery God and the falsehoods attributed to the prophet Jesus. He says there was no Christians in the days of Jesus, he said. Jesus himself was a Muslim, and the religion he taught was Islam. We must get the old false teachings of Christianity out of our heads. That's how Muslims used to go talk about Christianity. It wasn't no a good Christian is a good Muslim. Or it wasn't no we trying to show everybody how Christianity and Islam is the same, showing the similarities. No, Muslims used to say you need to get out of a church. You need to come follow the messenger. It wasn't no trying to show the parallels, talking about Jesus is my Savior too. No, that wasn't what you see in the Muhammad Speaks. Then we can go even further to a Muhammad Speaks newspaper. This one is the May 16th, 1969 Muhammad Speaks newspaper, and this came from what Islam has done for me. And this was a brother, his name was B. Angelo X from Pensacola, Florida. And the title of the article was Newly Awakened Black Man Seeks Knowledge of Self Through Islam. And he says, of late, the white man in many of his magazines been picturing Jesus of 2,000 years ago as a black man. Why? Why has he in this hour conceded the fact that Jesus was a black man? The white man has always known that all messengers, apostles, prophets, and divine teachers of God and the true religion of God were black. Why has he printed this truth now, and not at the time he first gave the slave on the plantation the Bible? So he's saying the white man always knew Jesus was black, because Muslims still didn't cut the Christians no slack with all this black Jesus stuff, like how we try to do. Oh, you know, they waking up. No, not when the messenger was alive. You still a Christian. Just Christianity still the white man's religion. It wasn't no it's Islam versus Christianity. Always black Jesus or not. You what they call them, black conscious Christians. No, what's a black conscious Christian? It wasn't no such thing when the messenger was alive. Then the brother says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the white man has used Jesus' name to shield his dirty religion named Christianity for over 551 years. Now he sees the so-called American Negro waking up. He sees a people whom he's made blind, deaf, and dumb to all knowledge of themselves going to their own blackness. And he is displeased, but not at all caught napping. He now seeks to keep the half-awake black man chained to the asinine religion of Christianity by saying that Jesus was black. It is designed not only to shield his crazy religion, but more so to keep the minds and hearts of the so-called American Negroes away from the last and greatest apostle of the supreme being, Allah, God himself, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This was back when the messenger was alive. Go listen to Muslims talk about Christianity now. Especially these black conscious Christians that's with the black Jesus thing. You know, a good Christian is a good Muslim. But this wasn't so during the time of the messenger. And let's go to another article. This article is by Sister Beverly 6X. And it said, messenger is only black leader with courage to educate Negro about self. This sister said, you, non-believers, are now making loud noises about what we the black man must start to do for self and kind. You non-believers are now rejecting the name Negro, even when it is spelled with the capital N, and demand to be referred to as black man, not black boy. You finally decide to hold a black business exposition to show your accomplishments. Think back just a few short years ago when your voices was just as loud in opposition to these same things being taught to you in the messages of uplifting truth by Messenger Muhammad. They ain't let you get off the hook. No, you a Christian, and a couple years ago you were speaking against the messenger. Now we see you conscious. Now you saying what the messenger say. No, we ain't cutting you no slack still. You copying what the messenger said. That was Muslims back in the time of the messenger. You couldn't take the messenger's teachings and just do what you wanted to do when the messenger was alive. All praise is due to Allah. It didn't make no difference whether you was a minister for the messenger or not. Anybody who took the teachings of the messenger and was playing with them, they was putting you on blast. That's facts. So she says, you refuse to accept his warnings about tricknology of the white man and his words that the only way you can get a black man to participate unrighteousness is to deceive, trick him. You also refuse to believe that the white man had tricked and is still tricking you so that you will continue to be his mental slave. But today, your voices are once again being heard loud and clear. but this time mimicking the words, the teachings, the programs of Messenger Elijah Muhammad. You non-believers are speaking Islam. You non-believers are speaking words from Message to the Black Man, How to Eat to Live, and Muhammad Speaks. Why then do you continue to raise your voice in opposition to the author of these words you now use so freely, when you should be raising your voices in recognition and praise to Allah for Messenger Muhammad? Muslims back in the day, you wasn't taking no credit, because when you look at, even if you look at the documentary called Hidden Colors, now everybody want to talk about the black man's history in the millions of years, and we was all over the planet Earth and all of that kind of stuff. Even saying knowledge of self. Muslims are big up Hidden Colors. But when they talk about the messenger in Hidden Colors, Dr. Umar Johnson said that the messenger taught Islamic Pan-Africanist nationalism. When did the messenger say that? And for the fact that he putting Pan-Africanists before Islam, he's saying that Pan-Africanism is over Islam. But listen to how Muslims talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. And I mean no disrespect to him. If you like Dr. Umar Johnson, like him. But during the time of the messenger, Dr. Umar Johnson couldn't have got away with that with Muslims. All praise is due to Allah. And that's just facts. Muslims would have put Dr. Umar Johnson in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper to let everybody know he's still in the messenger's teaching. That's how Muslims used to roll back during the time of the messenger. You couldn't get in front of no Muslims and they can identify with what you saying came from the messenger. I don't care what you say, you either minister or not. When you see these ministers in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper, because a lot of these brothers who were alive today was allowed in. They wasn't nothing but a minister. All praise is due to Allah. If you were a minister, back in the time when the messenger was alive, the FOI was with you as long as you was with the messenger. Them facts. I was looking at a documentary where brothers was talking about the old days, they say. Them old school brothers. This brother said he was in Miami. He was talking about how when Malcolm turned hypocrite, he was in Miami with Muhammad Ali. He said that in those days, he said back in the old days, he was saying how Captain Joseph called him and told him that Malcolm was in Miami and he turned hypocrite. He said, get him out of your city. That's what he said, Captain Joseph told him. Not get him out of Miami. He said, get him out of your city. That's how Muslims was when the message. It ain't no, oh, he just in Miami. He in your city, brother. Get him out of your city. That's what he said that Joseph told him. And go look at the history of the Nation of Islam when Malcolm turned hypocrite. They had in a newspaper that the Supreme Captain, he said that not only is Malcolm X our enemy, he said the sympathizers for Malcolm's cause is our enemies too. He said that in the paper. It wasn't no sympathizing. When you look at the history when Malcolm turned hypocrite, Malcolm was a minister, but when he turned hypocrite against the messenger, all the Muslims turned against him. And they ain't do nothing wrong. They should have turned against him. But in the history of the Nation of Islam today, we talk about that history like the Muslims did something wrong for turning against Malcolm. We try to say, oh, the messenger said, leave Malcolm X alone. That's what a Muslim love to say today. Oh, the messenger said, leave him alone. But what did the messenger say in the table talks? When he gave the example of when Prophet Muhammad had the same kind of problems where people were slandering him. And he felt like Muslims wasn't defending him the right way. He said that Prophet Muhammad had the same problem. He said Prophet Muhammad asked, who would go for me? The messenger said a 17-year-old boy stood up and said, I'll go for you. He said, I'll cut the tongues out of the mouth of everybody who speaks against you. All praise is due to Allah. That's the example that the messenger gave. He said that little 17-year-old boy said that I'll rip their tongues out of their mouth from the root and I'll burn their bodies up and throw their ashes to the wind. That's the example that the messenger gave. So all that leave Malcolm alone? Nah, go look at the history. Go look at the Muhammad Speaks newspaper and look at what Muslims were saying about Malcolm X, brothers and sisters. When hypocrites turned against the messenger, Muslims turned against them hypocrites. Look what Muslims used to say about people saying that the messenger had babies. They used to write articles against that. Now Muslims sitting up here talking about the messenger had wives. When Muslims wrote against that, the messenger wrote against Evelyn and Lucille in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. But now today, we love the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But a minister, a brother, can bring sisters on stage with Muslims there, talking against the messenger, saying things about the messenger that Muslims used to defend the messenger against in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. That's how different Islam is today. And that's why I urge Muslims to go read the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. Go see what the messenger said about them women. Go see what Muslims used to say to defend the messenger against these women. The messenger said that Evelyn sided with Malcolm to disgrace him. That's what he said about her. It was the September 11, 1964 Muhammad Speaks newspaper. That's what now you gonna bring her on stage and tell Muslims that this is the wife of the messenger? And you got FOI, fruit of Islam, not fruit of a minister, fruit of Islam. Gonna let this brother disgrace the messenger like he said that she tried to do with Malcolm. No, that's why I urge all Muslims, go read the Muhammad Speaks newspaper and compare what you hearing today with what you heard Muslims say when the messenger was alive. But brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the nation of Islam, reading the words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. See Brother Minister, another round of applause. Thank you, praise be to Allah. I'd like to say, in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the true and living God, in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'm truly grateful and thankful on his coming and giving and leaving with you and I, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, who is no longer with you and I in the physical form, but that what was given to him from Almighty God, Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, lives with you and I, the believers. And we're very fortunate to be followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, especially in this day and time, bearing witness that there's no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was his last and greatest messenger. These are terrible times that we're living in. Great times also that we're living in for those who accept the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. It's a great time for us. Those who reject it, it's a bad time for them. So the messenger taught us that he said that my mission is to give life to the dead. And he taught us also, and he said this, that my mission as the messenger is to bring the truth to the world before the world is destroyed. That's what he did. And this world is being destroyed. This is the fall of America. We must understand this thing. This is not, these are troubled times. It's a thing that we as believers, those the messenger say who live in this day and time, we must submit our will to do the will of Allah, because these are terrible times. He said there'll be no other messenger coming after him. He was the last. And just on that alone, I don't think people taking this as seriously as they should. Because if we don't take this as seriously as it's supposed to be taken, we're gonna find ourselves fall by the wayside. Every tub sits on its own bottom, brothers and sisters. So we as believers have to try to save yourself. The messenger said, don't go back and try to, I think it was this, I don't know if it was 67 saved today when he was saying that we get so in love, ain't nothing wrong with being in love with your family. And the question was asked, well, how come you didn't How come you didn't come? Well, I didn't come because of my wife or my son. I didn't want to leave them. See? If you understand what he's saying. He said, let them go. Save yourself. Let them go. That's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. He also said, the Holy Quran backed him, but he said that Allah said, tell them that they ain't no better than them. Do you think, for the message, you think that they better than them? We ain't no better than them. Hypocrites and disbelievers are the same today as they was yesterday. The same today as they was in the day of Lot, Noah, and all the prophets of God. Hypocrites are the same today. They did the same work. It's no different. They all disbelievers. But we are the messenger who was raised from among you and I to teach and guide us. That's the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And Islam is not going to be accepted. Everybody's not going to accept it. We get this in our high heads. Everybody's not going to accept it. Your son might not accept it. Your wife might not accept it. Your husband might not accept it. That's a different thing. Are you going to accept it? That's the bottom line. And there's no excuse today. We have a lot of opposition. We have to save ourselves and submit to the will of Allah, to do His will, not our will. It's plain today. The Master said, beware this day, but when you see 100% dissatisfaction, and when evil is spread far and wide, this is a terrible day. And if we look right there at the White House, just at the White House, all these great minds, all is confused. And Allah confused the head of state. He confuses them. They don't know what to do. They can't even get along with each other. They fighting. This is in Congress. All you right there. They fighting against each other. They can't get nothing done. And we see this. And we're very fortunate, brothers and sisters, to be followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't know how seriously that we take this, because this is the fall of America. Because when one nation falls, it makes way for another. And this is that we're in the 7,000 years. We say year, it says years. So that's a time-consuming thing here. Truth is gradually overcoming falsehood. Gradually it's overcoming falsehood. Right before our eyes. It's in dangerous times. It's a terrible time that we're living in. So we got to shape up and get ourselves in order and submit to the will of Almighty God, Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. You should read that if you get a chance to. And it tells us about this day and what the believers who live in this time should be doing. Should be doing. It tells us exactly what we should be doing. And I had it down here. I wanted to share it with you. And you could see it. I'm going to read this. When we say about prayer and all this is obligated. We can't take prayer and put it on the back burner and say that it's worthless. We just don't realize the seriousness of it. When it said that you obligated to say our prayers, it's not just you're saying your prayers. We obligated to say our prayers to our Maker, Allah. We obligated. We must pray to Him. See, prayer. When we say our prayers like we should, it erases those little sins that we do, the 5 prayers that we do. Yeah, that we do. Yeah, all of us, that we do. It erases those little sins that we do, that we commit. All except a mortal sin. Now that's different. See? But the little sins that we do, it erases those 5 prayers. Now let's get back and say, what have you not saying your 5 prayers? It's building up. It's weighing you down and me down. It's very important that we understand these things. It's for every tub sits on its own bottom, brothers and sisters. This is for you. We brothers and sisters, we in the nation, we're the human family of the planet Earth. Yeah, but your salvation and my salvation depends on our obedience to Almighty God, Allah's messages, teachings. And if we're not obedient to that, we're not going to make it. This is just the first step. This is not, he said, who live in this time. In this time, who live in this time. Let me read this. About the prayers here, too. It said, we are reminded that this prayer is made obligatory. It is also binding upon believers, Muslims, in Allah God to obey him. For in that 1,000 years of millennium, the disbelievers will ease to be. And to those who live in that time, it shall be binding upon them to serve and obey one God. Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, or Allah in person. The Mahdi must restore the kingdom of Islam. All disbelievers, this he will do in his time. Now, I'm going to skip and go to this here. We're now living in the early morning of that 7,000 years. You say years. So it takes time. It's taking time. Allah's restoring it. It takes time. Separation. The disbelievers from the believers. Separation. Hypocrites from believers. This separation. Wheat from the tare. All this is being separated. We're being separated from the wickedness. This world of evil has been given 6,000 years to reign over the righteous. Now, since their time expired in 1914, as all the religious scientists agree, we are now in the 7,000 years of the creation of Adam, or the Caucasian race. It shall be binding upon you to serve and obey the great Mahdi, Farad Muhammad, or else be cut off from the people of righteousness. Now, we got a choice. We have a choice. What do we have? How much time do we have? Following. We don't have no time for that. We ain't got no time for that. This is righteous time. This is the time for you and I to submit our will, because to do the will of Allah, because we have all the books, all the teachings and everything. We don't have an excuse. See, we don't have an excuse. How to eat, to live, all these different kind of things. It's no excuse. So when we fail to apply ourselves to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings, whatever it is, and we don't do it, that's disobedience. We may not like this term disobedient, but that's what it is. That's disobedience. Whenever we disobey, whenever we refuse to obey what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, that's disobedience. And there's a penalty for being disobedient. Praise be to God. It's a penalty for being disobedient. I don't care what it is. If the messenger said it and we disobey it, that's disobedience. And there's a punishment for it. There's a consequence for it. See? So we have to understand just what time, the time that we're living in. It's cleanup time. Clean up and advance ourselves of the devil's habits. Because he's after you and I. He want to see how many he can take to hell with him. This is what he's doing. Like I said before, when the old world is going out, the new world is coming in. The world of righteousness. The kingdom of righteousness. We're going to have to be 100%. 100%. So if it takes 100%, it takes a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. You got time to be fooling around. Like we got 1,000 years ago fiddling and dancing. The time is here, man. We got to get yourself right. See? And you know, you can do it if you want to. If we want to, it said, up you mighty nation, you can accomplish as you will. We were talking this morning about you can do anything that you want to do. What I'm saying, as far as cleaning up ourselves and doing what is right and making the right decision. If this is what you want, you can do it. We say, oh, when you go around, see, we made up our minds. When we accepted Islam under the guise and leadership of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we accepted the task, what goes with it. Whatever, because we accepted, we're going to do it. Whatever it is, we're going to do it. Why? Because we made our mind up. When you make your mind up that you want to do what is right, you make your mind up, if you want to please Allah, you can do it. If you want to, pray, you want to, you can do it. So there's no excuse. You say, no, okay. We got to give back the devil's religion, Christianity. Give back his name, his way of life. We was willing to give it up. You gave it up, didn't you? Why? Because you wanted to. You wanted to give that up. You gave it up. So now if something wrong or we got something evil in our hearts, if we want to get through with it, we'll give it up if we want to. We know who to go to if we want to. It's just said, Farad Muhammad, the Mahdi, or Allah in person, go to him. That's the same one, the same God. Go to him if that's what we want to clean up, if that's ourselves, or the devil have it. If we want to do what's right, if we want to love our brothers and sisters, that's what we love for ourselves. If that's what we want to do, we'll do it. No excuse for it. The reason why we don't do it, we hang on to it. We're not ready to do it. We're not ready to submit. We accept all that. So I learned a lot. See? Even by myself. See? Because when we stopped smoking and drinking, when we accept the teaching and the message, you did it why? Because you wanted to do it. It don't bother you now. You can go around somebody drinking, you can go around somebody smoking, it don't bother you. Because what? You don't want to do it. You stop doing it. You stop drinking, smoking, gambling, all these different kind of things, fornicating, committing adultery, all these things. You stop doing it because you wanted to do it. You wanted to stop doing it. Did nobody force you to do it? You wanted to stop doing it. So if our hearts are not right, and if we want to make our hearts right and clean, if we want to do it, we can do it if that's what we want to do. Why? Because we'll stop engaging in those funny thoughts. If you think evil of a person, that's a sin. To think evil of your brother, that's a sin. So you think evil of them. These kind of things. It's very important. You know, because we have a God on our side. And he's going to protect us, and he's well able to protect us. If don't nobody come here, keep doing what we should be doing. But in the meantime, we still have to clean up and devise ourselves. We have to make ourselves fit. See? Because Allah knows all. He knows the heart. He knows everything what we hide. He brings it all out. He makes the devil manifest. He done made the devil, the white man, manifest. He's disagreeable to live with in peace. You can't live with this skunking priest. He the skunk of the planet Earth. Everywhere he go, the messenger said, he leaves a foul odor. See? All these things, brothers and sisters, we can be strong. We can be powerful. But we have to get right. We have to get right. We can't do it Jeffin. We can't do it Jeffin. You know, because Allah gonna send somebody in here that will do it. When I say here, I'm not talking about here, right? I'm talking about the nation of Islam, the followers of the messenger. He gonna send somebody in there that loves him, that would love to obey the teachers of the messenger. All of us. We don't have it made. We don't have it made yet. No. Because see, somebody come out, you know, like I'm somebody like sitting back and wait for you. Give you the example. You never know the greatness of a person. Allah makes us great. He makes us great. We make ourselves failures. He don't make you a failure. You make your own self failure by being disobedient. See, Allah, there's greatness in him. And no failure in here. It don't even exist a failure in Allah because he can't fail. But we fail ourselves. by being disobedient. Because if we play fair, we're going to be all right. See? But we fail when we try to get slick. See? When we shortcut the teacher. See, it's very important, brothers and sisters, because whatever's in us is going to come out. If we got a strong brotherhood, it takes a strong brotherhood, a strong sisterhood to get through this. Sincere brotherhood, sincere sisterhood to get through this. Because Allah knows our hearts. He knows what's in our hearts, what we hide from the physical eye of another brother or sister or any human being. Allah knows everything. And this is the one going to judge you and I, not me. He's going to judge you and me. So we can't hide from him. So we have to be true to ourselves. If we're true to ourselves, we have a strong brotherhood and sisterhood. See? Because we all have shortcomings. You know it. You know your shortcomings. You know your shortcomings. If we're going to have unity, everybody going to have to be on the same page. If the messenger's teachings is plain, he laid it out. He have written DVD, all that we can go and we can see it. He don't contradict himself. Like the Bible, you say one thing and the meaning no. The message, what he say, he mean what he say, and it's plain what he say. It's no, you can't even try to set an argument to try to discredit what he say or to bring in what you think. No. Why do you think Allah came all this way? He came all this way to seek and to save that which was lost, you and I. He only found one. He only chooses one. He don't choose two or three. Only one messenger. Now, the Elijah Muhammad is the one that he chose and the one that he taught for 3.5 years. We said, oh, man, you hear this all the time. Well, he said the same thing for 44 years. He said, a white man is the devil. You always will be the devil. Don't you ever forget it. And you have some today trying to say we can reform him. Some today that love it. The man said, love, 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 love. All you want to love him. So I don't love him. So, and we don't love him. Because we know he's an open enemy. See? But see, we can say, oh, I don't love him. But if you still practicing what he put out there, you in love with him. You ain't love him. You love him because you're doing what he do. So pray be to Allah. Oh, man, I don't love him. But you love the way he loves his civilization, his way of life. That means you love him. You in love with him. He ain't saying that you in love with him like you love your husband. No, not like that. But you in love with him. His way of life. See, these kind of things. It's getting tight now. Everything that we do now, it be made manifest. It used to be take a little time, but not now. Oh, it comes right out. It comes right out. It's the time we say, well, he too strict. No. Mr. said to restrict the laws of our success. What do you say? And it is. It'll make you. It'll make you. Don't say you won't be made. Oh, it'll make you. See? He ain't got to put you in jail either. Ain't no behind no bars locking you up. No. It'll make you. Get you here. Allah get us here. That's where he get us, brothers and sisters. We're in the top of our head. We think we going up, going back. See, because we don't want to get to the point where we take Allah's power lightly. He may get you for something. Same person do something. Same thing you did. May not get him. Or may not get her. He gonna get you. You probably the one needed most. Then when a person go to jail, when you see, you go up in there, when you being judged. Just take this for instance. Here's a guy, did the same thing you did. And get less time than you. Same thing. Example. I was down there in court building years ago. I saw this Judge Davenport. Gave this brother 6 to 10 years in the penitentiary for robbery. For robbery. This devil come up. He gave the devil 6 months for the same thing. Robbery. Okay, now they compared. Here's the thing here. I'm just using this to illustrate. Here's the thing here. We got a thing here said our good, my way, our bad, right? So that's automatic there. That's gonna fall in place. That's it. They looked at this guy's record. Depends on what it did, how horrible it was. He pistol whipped the man. See? He pistol whipped him. So that was a little more violent than what the devil did, true enough. That was a little more, the devil a little more violent. So he got less time. Take for instance, me, us. And we be like toward each other. If I try to humiliate you or try to deceive you in any kind of way, trying to deceive you or trick you or be just nasty for no reason, to hurt you, Allah judges that. You understand what I'm saying? Allah judges that. And then we'll find ourselves, everything we do, we can't get ahead. That ought to tell us something. That ought to tell us what? Your mind should say, change your ways. It give it to you and I. It give it to us. When we wrong, it knocks on the door and it tells you. It tells you. But see, what we have a tendency to don't let that go. But it tell you, hold it, you wrong. It's a balance. See, your own self gonna tell you whether you wrong or not. Your own self's gonna tell you that. You know, that's self. You must say self-accusing self. That self-accusing spirit, it's gonna tell you, it's gonna let you know. It's gonna let me know. When you're wrong, it's gonna let you know. Believe me when I tell you, it's gonna let you know. Because you'll say to yourself, why am I doing that? You'll get back and ponder and wonder and feel bad sometimes. How you even talk to a brother or a sister, you'll feel bad. But do you have the guts or the courage to admit it? These kind of things will say, this is the judgment. This is the day of resurrection. This is the judgment to make known. All this is in us. We're being judged today. And our success will be on how we submit to it. So if that self-accusing spirit, brothers and sisters, it don't lie. It don't lie. And it'll condemn you and I. It will condemn us if we don't change our way. See? Because if you don't, it's going to destroy you. You'll get back, you'll burn up inside. You won't have no peace. No peace. No success. See? No, everything that you touch, it's nothing. Then our spirit, no life, no spirit, no happiness, always something in us eating us. That's telling you, let me out of here, man. You know, give me some room, submit. It's telling you and I that. So we should thank Allah and pray. Prayer keeps one away from indecency and evil. With them 5 prayers, it's the reason that we say our 5 prayers a day. That's because we sinful, we hard-headed. Still we hard-headed and stiff-necked and rebellious. We still sometimes don't want to submit to what we should submit to because of being proud and stubborn. We don't submit to it. So when we don't submit to it, say your prayers and try to clean up some of that mess that you done messed up or I done messed up. See? And then when we do that, we'll find ourselves energized. The Spirit of Allah that's in you and I. Not slow. Making excuses, lazy. You know, don't want to work. Don't want to work with each other. Some kind of excuse. All the time it's an excuse. That's what prayer does when you miss it. When you miss it, this is what the bag that we fall in. Ain't nowhere in the world that you and nobody else can tell me or should be able to tell you that you saying your prayers sincerely and you having still a problem. You not saying them sincerely. Well, I'm not saying them sincerely. The message say sincere prayer will get you an answer. And if you sincere with Allah, you got any kind of imperfection in our hearts or in our mind, and we sincere to Allah, so, oh Allah, help me to get rid of it, and you mean it, he'll get rid of it. He will get rid of it. No, but don't hide and put it in the back and say and don't mean it. He know it. What the message say? Sincere prayer will get you an answer. Pray to the God that I taught you to pray to, Master Farad Muhammad. And if you sincere, he will remove it. He remove it. Yeah. How you know? I had a dope problem. I've said over and over. A serious dope problem. And the other problems I had. But I know myself that he removed it. Because I don't have the desire to do it no more. That's when you first step that you know that you're on the right track. You don't have the desire to do that. He removes it from. But if you still got the desire to do it, you don't mean it. You don't mean it yet. You still holding back. No. I don't have the desire to smoke cocaine no more. I don't have the desire to do that. None of the things that I used to do, I don't have the desire to do it no more. I know because the messenger said this. He said, you will know. What he said. When Allah forgive you, you will know it. Because he removes it from you. He removed those tendencies. And if you're sincere, he's going to remove it. If you're not, it's going to linger along with you. Sincere prayer. Because you don't do the same thing over and over again when you're sincere and you go to Allah. You don't do it over and over again. No, you don't do it. Because if you do it over and over again, you're sincere, you weak then. The God ain't saying what he's supposed to say. He ain't got the power over all things, and you constantly doing it. If you pray to him sincerely, he'll remove it. Whatever it is, whatever cloud over our head, he's going to remove it. If you like to smoke weed, he removes it. If you want to stop. If you want to stop, whatever bad thing we want to do, and we sincere, he'll remove it. I did a lot of bad things. You too. Not only me, you too. You did them too. Might still be doing it. I don't know. That's you and Allah. Whatever you do, I ain't looking over your back and worrying about what you doing. I'm trying to get myself straight. Whatever you do, that's you and Allah. I ain't looking around no corner, peeping and riding down the street, following you. That's your business. What I do is my business. But see, Allah, he got the power over all things. You see, brothers and sisters, how powerful the God that we have. A powerful God. But he's a loving God. He's a merciful God. Because the message say, when we get to a flaw, we pray to Allah. As soon as we get through, we fall, we go walk out there and fall down on our face with some other flaw. Some other thing that happened. Just got through praying, you're going around, and you're guilty of some other flaw. So that goes to show you and I that we're not perfect. And we have to have a merciful God on our side that understands us and love us. You have to love a person too. This God loves us. Master Prophet Muhammad loves us because he forgives us for being a fool over and over and over again. He have to love you to keep from punishing you. You don't want to punish us. But he love, he still can love you and punish you. And me. Because he punishes a whole bunch that we don't get that severe chastisement. Keep from giving us that severe chastisement. He might spank us a little bit. But if we keep on and don't submit to him, we headed for a chastisement. And see, one thing about this chastisement, when he put it on you, he's the only one that can take it off. Can nobody else take it off? This is the thing we have to understand about the chastisement. And this God is a merciful God. We don't carry penknives. We don't carry knives, weapons, money. This to show how powerful it is. And all this government, with all these sophisticated weapons and all these things, we don't even carry a penknife, but he got control over all of it. We don't carry knives, guns, and all this. See? Because, see, the messenger taught us that. He's always on time. Because, don't you know, if they catch you with a pocket knife that's 4 inches, a little over 4 inches, when they take that blade, they put the four fingers down there. Anything over that thing, they can get you for concealed weapon. Did you know that? They can get you for some concealed weapon. That's a 5-year max. I don't care what kind of knife it is. See what I'm saying? They got a law that calls, they could, if you don't have a knife over 4 inches, they have a law that they call all law in the books. I got caught up in it. That's what I'm telling you. Called violating the city knife ordinance. Have you ever heard that? That's all law with a knife. If you got a knife, have a knife in your pocket, they can get you for not concealed weapon. They wanted to violating the city knife ordinance. That's all law they had years ago. They got me. I got 60 days in the House of Correction. That's right. Violating the city knife ordinance years ago. Now, you know for yourself, go back in the devil's law book, go way back. They're supposed to give us what? 40 acres and a mule? They're supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. And they did it? They ain't gave us no 40 acres. Think about it, but that's a law. Now, supposed to give the slave what? 40 acres and a mule. It's still in the law book. They don't have to buy it, they don't go buy it, but if they catch you with a knife, they can. They can go say, well, we're buying by this. I don't care how long, I'm getting you for it. It's a law. You broke the law. You done broke the law. So you got to be careful with this devil. He's real crooked, slick. And he's so slick, he'll have us fighting among each other. Look what he did in the Holy Land. Had us fighting and killing each other. They ain't want to know where the trouble coming from. See? And it's right here today with you and I. We have to be real careful. Everybody say, Assalamu alaikum may not mean it. John Hawkins said he sure didn't mean it. He raised up our crescent, the flag, to draw us in. See? These kind of things. So what I'm trying to say here, we have to clean up and divide ourselves of the devil's habits, of his habits. So how do we clean up and divide ourselves of the devil's habits? We have to treat each other like we want to be treated. What the messenger said, love. See, this is one thing that we fail to realize. Love for your black brother and sister, that's what you love for yourself. We got to be able to do that. We have to be able to do that. See? Love for your black brother and sister that you love for yourself. Do unto your black brother and sister that you will have done unto yourself. We ain't talking about treating the devil right. We're talking about, right now, I'm talking about the black man and the black woman. That's a thing right there. That seems to be a problem because we have some of us, we just don't get it. See? And there's a penalty for that. If I mistreat you, there's a penalty for it. For no reason. If I mistreat you, period. I shouldn't mistreat you. Under no circumstance. Whether we get along or whether I agree with you or disagree with you, I still shouldn't mistreat you. Because you're right and I'm wrong and I can't accept the fact that I'm wrong. No, it's not right. Because when we came into Islam, we accept the fact that we was wrong. We accept the fact that we believe in the wrong religion. We accept the fact that Christianity was the wrong religion. We accept the fact that the white man was the devil. We accept that fact. And we accept the fact that Allah is God who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. Not Jesus is Lord, but Master Farah Muhammad. We accept that fact. That's the only way you're going to get in, and the messenger was the messenger. And then after that, you went to orientation class. If you just don't talk it, now you're going to be tried. We're going to see all what you said, you're going to be tried now. I love my brother and sister. Okay, then you're gonna be tried. We're gonna see, do you love your brother and sister like you love yourself? You're gonna be tried that way. Allah knows. A lot of times we can save ourselves a lot of heartache by being submissive, being loving to one another. That's the only way it's gonna get through. Whatever agenda, a lot of us, it's just hard. It's just so hard to be wrong, to admit to the fact that you're wrong. That's a hard thing sometimes. But see, Allah can get you. He'll make you submit. He'll make you submit. This devil, he'll never submit. Ain't in him. Nature, he ain't in him. He was born fueled by the fire. He was made. It's just not in him. Truth is not in him. See? You have a few of them that's by faith, but still not by nature. Truth is in us by nature. See, so that's the thing here, in my conclusion. This is why we say the perpetrator. We'll say this. This is why we suffer for being disobedient. It's in us. Truth. By nature, we're righteous. By nature. And by nature, it tells you and I, when we're wrong, you got that self-accusing spirit, it's going to tell you and me. It's going to tell you. You wrong, brother. You wrong, man. You wrong, sister. The truth will tell you why you doing this, why you constantly do this. You know you're wrong. It's going to tell you that. But we so proud. But everybody will know I'm wrong. You know everybody know you're wrong. It's Allah. Care what everybody say. It's Allah. You and Allah. You know if you're wrong. But see, Allah is the man looking through the glass. That's the one you're going to have to give an account of. That's the one you're going to have to give an account of. You don't have to give an account of me. Or me giving an account of you. If I know if I'm treating you wrong. You can know if I'm treating you. If I'm treating you wrong, you'll know it. See? But the thing is, we have to be sincere. Because if we're not sincere and our hearts are not right, we ain't going to make it. If my heart's not right, Allah move me. I know that. You move me, somebody else. I'm not dispensable. I'm moving me, get somebody else. If I leave, walk right out of there, that's okay. I ain't stopping no show. Who am I hurting? I most certainly ain't hurting the nation. I most certainly ain't hurting this program. You may be the holdup. See, you leave, a whole lot of them might come in there. Or I leave, a whole lot of them might come in there. That's how Allah is. You don't need us. You don't need you or me for nothing. All we do is volunteer to save ourselves. See? If you ain't got to say, the messenger, I believe in, you believe it or you don't. Why? You don't make no difference. You ain't doing him no favor. Because I'm standing here talking, I'm not doing him no favor. I'm helping myself. I'm saying, I'm a witness bearer. That's all I am. I'm not no savior. He the savior. I'm not no messenger. The messenger was the messenger. Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm just saying, repeating what he said. That don't make me no messenger. I'm just a believer. You know, everybody gonna say, you're a messenger because you carrying a message. I'm not carrying nothing. I'm doing just what he said to do. Just talking. I ain't the messenger. He was the messenger. Don't say I'm no messenger because, yeah, see, that's how they like to do, swear your head up. You a messenger because you carrying the message. I ain't, the messenger already been carried. I'm just obeying and it's saying what he say. I ain't got no message to carry. He didn't care. He's the messenger. See? These things. So we should love each other. Respect each other. That's brothers and sisters. And admit our faults. If we wrong, admit it. If you shame or unshamed, that's okay. But change our ways. So when we change our ways and we in error, that's what your brother and your sister for. We help each other. If I'm wrong, pull me to the side. So brother, you know, something happened here, and I think that's a little thing. I think that was wrong. I said, well, brother, hurt you, I apologize. If I hurt you, did something wrong to you and hurt you, and I don't say nothing, no, that ain't the way to do it. That's pride. See? If I say something to hurt you, I'm going to pull you to the side. You pull me to the side and say, well, look, man, you know, brother, I didn't think that was too nice. I think that was kind of salty. And I see everybody listening and say, see what you saying? Oh, okay, brother, okay. I apologize. Now, if I feel those wasn't and I say something, then I can explain to you and say, this is what I meant by it. Then we get some kind of understanding. If we can get understanding, it's okay. I apologize, brother. I apologize. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. I ain't gonna get around. Hey, man, you know, what you do there? You stand over here, everybody. I'm not doing that. What I look like? That's embarrassing. My brother want to hear that. So, wait a minute, man. You ain't. Hey, man, you did me like this. Hey, you don't do no man like that. You said, wait a minute, brother. You know what you hollering? That's what I did. We talked about this over here. Wait a minute. Now everybody in it. See, that ain't how we do things. The messenger taught us to be civilized. He said, pull the brother's coat, pull him aside. He said that. And tell it. When I say brother, I'm saying sister too. Go for sisters too. What go for you? You say 5 prayers, we do too. We take a bath every day, you do too. You just, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. Ain't no, the ones who most mindful of that duty is the ones outside of Almighty God, Allah. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. Thank you very much. Yes.
Brothers and sisters, rise for prayer. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou bestow thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness and none deserve to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.